welcome to day 17 of Mermaid 2018. I've got two honorary lurk mates in the studio today.
Hello.
We've got Steve and Stella.
Hi.
So let me quickly explain, because this is actually the night before. We're recording this on the 16th. I'm going to overlay this voiceover with my drawing on MERMAY for the 17th of May. So whatever it is, I hope I'm enjoying it. And I hope it turned out fabulous.
It's like the future.
Yeah. Just comment on what you see right now. What's going on the screen right now?
I see your hands laying down a piece of paper.
With paint all over.
What do you see, Stella?
Your bony, unpolished fingers.
Stella only says that because her fingernails at the moment look like Barbie's dream house.
Insert
her Corvette.
Insert picture.
They are like vibrant pink.
Claws.
Uñas.
Uñas.
I learned that. I'm learning Spanish. Steve is actually Hispanic, we know that, but Stella is also...
I am Mexican.
a Mexican lady.
Well, because Steve is from
Ecuador.
So I'm from Mexico. It's a little different, okay?
Well, she's Latina, okay? So we'll just clear that up. I am feeling very ganged up on today.
Yeah, right? 2 against 1.
So we're going conversation starters because you know it's my favorite thing to do.
Okay.
And there's no better way to learn about someone than to ask them awkward questions. So rules are as follows: answer them, don't answer them, I couldn't care less.
Plead the fifth.
Plead the fifth.
Okay.
If you don't want to. I don't think there's anything terrible in here, but to be honest, I haven't read them. So.
Well, I'm an oversharer, so...
You and James both.
Get ready.
What's the last funny video you saw? I'm just going to take this one right now. Monique Hart and her Cosmo makeup tutorial.
That was...
Hilarious.
That video of the little girl.
The little girl.
Yeah. Well, how do they say, you know...
She's reading, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
she goes, how do you say despacito?
And then in Spanish, like, you know, Mexicans say it, despacito.
It's like, how do they say it?
Despacito.
I like that. How do you say tortilla? She goes,
Tortilla.
or how do they say tortilla? Tortillas.
I thought you were talking about the girl that was reading and she's trying to sound out who.
The word who.
But she's reading it WHO, so she goes,
Well, so it's all phonetic.
yeah.
What?
What does it say, Anaya?
What? And she just keeps going, like if she just says it enough, it's going to be true.
We'll insert the link in the description bar. So
Will we, Stella?
for your convenience. So you too can be in on this joke.
Stella, you can come over tomorrow morning and insert that link if you would like.
I will.
Alright, what do you do to get rid of stress? That's interesting.
Oh my gosh.
Eat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, like, I just kind of, like, veg out. I know that sounds, like, weird, but I, like, will watch, like, Center Stage. And it's a good stress reliever.
Yeah, I do love to couch potato.
To do nothing. Because I feel like sometimes you have so many things to do that it stresses you out. Like, I'm that person. I have all these things to do, and I'm like, I'm too stressed. I'm going to take a nap.
Look, I wish I was one of those people that was like, oh, I'm so stressed. I'm just going to, like, run a half marathon at the gym.
Go to the gym. No.
I don't know how that happens.
No.
I've never been so stressed that I burst into exercise.
I eat ice cream. Always.
Is that just a stress thing or just a daily thing?
Both. Daily I'm stressed.
He's, like, habitually stressed.
I think Steve finds a reason to be stressed.
So I can have my ice
So
cream.
he's ice cream.
So I can justify the ice cream.
That's why you married me, isn't it? What's your favorite way to waste time?
Oh my god, Instagram.
On your phone.
Instagram, definitely.
I got lost into, like, the black hole of Instagram.
Literally, you go into that search, like the search engine. Explore
yeah.
Page. And before you know it, you are down
30 videos deep into, like, fails.
Yeah, some rabbit hole of whatever.
Look,
Gone.
I like that Instagram is a part of my business strategy because now I feel less guilty about doing that.
I know. I'm like, it's for work.
Yeah.
It's for me.
It's research.
Yeah, I log in my research and development hours.
Yeah.
40 weeks deep into this crackers Instagram.
What are you going to do this weekend?
Work.
I
Work. Yeah, ditto, work.
I have, like, a birthday thing to go to. It's, like, a birthday dinner and then, like, the club afterwards.
You say that like
The
you're
club?
like
The
you're
club.
too old to be going to a club. Please clarify how old you are, Stella.
It's like 26 years young.
Actually, I haven't been to a club in ages. To be honest.
Same. Rewind to 2 months ago.
Yeah, I can't tell you the last time.
I wouldn't even know where the last club I went to was.
I have to bring earplugs now.
Stop
because
it.
I
You don't.
literally am that girl where they're like, it's so loud, and I will pull like little green earplugs out of my purse and I put them in my ear because it's so loud when you're in like the DJ booth. It's
Yeah, I was just about to clarify. Stella's also that girl in the booth,
In the booth.
at Vegas.
Yeah.
Like,
sitting. My feet don't hurt.
she doesn't need emergency shoes because she's got VIP seating area.
Not for long.
Right, you got to make the most of it. You've got a
I
window.
know.
We've all got a window for something.
Yeah, my window for the DJ booth is closing.
What did you do on your last vacation? I liked your last vacation.
I went to New Orleans.
So fun.
Getting your own girls trip?
Yeah, no. More tame than the girls' trip. The food was incredible. The food and the music and the people.
Tell us the story about, like, didn't you go to, like, the crazy, like, hole-in-the-wall place?
Oh my god, the story of the crawfish. It was so good. So basically, we wanted to eat, like, the most authentic crawfish ever. And so we, like, Yelped everything. We found this place, and it was a little, like, off, like, the path.
The beaten path.
Yeah, that's the word I was looking for, off the beaten path. And so basically, like, our Uber driver's taking us. She's, like, totally cool with it. We, like, are almost there, and we call our friends, and we're like, hey, like, where are you guys? Like, are you coming? And they're like, well, our Uber driver didn't feel comfortable dropping us off in that area. So,
Oh, no.
So we're at another crawfish place. So we go to this place, and it was just, like, in a really, like, sketchy area, but, like, I don't know, I grew up in the hood, so it's fine. So
She's like, oh, it's home.
we get there, and honestly, like, it was only to go, so we, like, ordered our food to go, and, like, the people there were just, like, so nice. Like, they just, like, accepted us, even though they were like, what are y'all doing here? I was like, oh, we just, like, heard that the Yelp reviews were great, so we, like, get our 40 pounds of crawfish and leave. It was fantastic, but literally, like, even our other Uber driver who picked us up, he's like, what are y'all doing here? And we're like, just, like, getting some crawfish. I don't know, take us back to our hotel. But it was so fun.
But it was legit, right?
No, it was the best crawfish I've ever eaten and probably will ever eat. I didn't need any spice or seasoning because, like, here in the U.S., like, we're all dipping it in the hot sauce and the whatever.
Oof. When I see an ad for Red Lobster, I get personally offended.
Yeah, I'm like, this is just rude.
As someone that likes seafood, I feel like that restaurant is more about butter than seafood.
Yeah, that's so true.
I've also never been there, so I can't talk anything.
I think maybe the one time that I went
Biscuits.
was, like, a Mother's Day when I was maybe 11 years old.
Oh, wow.
Oh, really?
Like, years
Interesting.
ago.
I just, like, even knew,
And
like...
I think the only thing I ate was the biscuits.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Before I was
Which I
diagnosed
think are
with gluten-free.
scones.
Yeah!
Oh, yeah.
Scones.
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 Everyone, Stella's gluten-free now.
Oh, not by choice. No, but we went to Costco, we bought the Red Lobster biscuits, and then, like, 2 weeks later I find out that I have to be gluten-free, and I'm like, no! I wanted my Red Lobster
But
biscuits.
they're like the KFC biscuits, right?
No, these are, like, I don't know what they're infused with.
But I love the KFC
Red
biscuits.
Lobster.
Addictive drug butter.
Butter. It's look,
butter a
and you
car?
know, because you buy something from
butter a
Costco, you're going to be eating it for 4 months.
I know.
That was so funny about being out in Japan. Everyone would be like, have you been to Costco yet? And I thought, no, because I'm not really trying to eat blueberry muffins for the rest of my contract.
Ugh, those little mini muffins.
Or the big ones that come in, like, that big old tray.
You're like,
Yeah.
I need to eat them before they go bad.
You're like, oh, I wish I could freeze other things, but I've just got this lifetime supply of blueberry muffins.
Breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
But Costco's so good, like, if you have a big family, right?
Or if you're gonna have a big party.
A big party, right.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I always use my friend's Costco cards. I'm like, hey, I'll buy you something.
Do you not have one?
I don't. I use people.
I guess
Just
I don't have one. I use Steve.
kind of like for their Netflix account.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
And Hulu.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I am that person with the
That's
Costco.
Danielle, our old roommate.
I
She
wish-
uses our Hulu. But we use her Netflix account.
Danielle.
So it's the
No, we definitely use Danielle's Netflix.
same. You know what?
I would love to outsource all of these things, actually.
I know.
Not that we're alcoholics here or anything like that, but the little.
Well, I feel like that's a weird way to set up whatever
I
you're
guess
about
it
to
is.
say.
So, no, it is a little insider, not secret so much, but the Kirkland Brown vodka that they make,
yeah.
that they have,
Yeah.
comes from the same distillery as Grey Goose.
And Belvedere.
Right, and so, but it's literally half the price. It's like $20
So
versus.
go get your Costco vodka.
So go get your Kirkland brand vodka if you're gonna have a big
It
like
tastes
celebration.
the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
The
just
more
water.
you know.
Or just like some coconut water.
It's just so interesting that this is what this channel has become.
A plug for Costco, not sponsored.
Here's where you get your cheaper version of this pencil, and this is also how to get cheaper vodka.
You never know.
And
After a
one
long
goes hand
day.
in hand, and you just be creative at the end of the day.
Yeah, why
I'm
not?
being resourceful.
Yeah, that's how some people relax, right?
Yeah. Look, I'm of legal age, so I'm allowed.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know what? Speaking of legal age, you guys had to wait until you were 21. Mm-hmm. Do you know how hard that was for me, having waited until I was actually 18? Which is legal in my country.
Right.
And then as soon as I was legal, I
Oh.
left to go and do international contracts. And
And
they
then you
said,
couldn't drink.
psych, you can't drink.
Oh my gosh. Well, you were saying that too, like, about getting a driver's license. Like,
yeah.
didn't you say, like, the age is older?
Well, I had to, when I was 16, I could get my learner's permit, which we still have to drive with a fully licensed adult at that point.
Yeah.
So it's not until you've done a year's worth, or I think it's like 150 hours, I don't know, they changed it.
Oh my
But it's not until you're 17 you can drive by yourself. And even then there's speed limits, and you've got to be doing that for a year, and then you get a green provisional license. You have to do that for 2 years, you're still on speed limits. You're like 90 by the time you get your full license.
Over here,
And then I left.
15 and a half, I
Yeah.
started driving. And
Yeah,
then
my
16,
permit.
you could drive by yourself.
Yeah.
Stella, I could believe it. I've walked
It's fine.
these
I ran
roads.
a red light.
This one gets so mad at me. Every time he gets mad at me when I'm on the road, I'm like 100% on my driver's test when I was 16.
Really? I missed, you're allowed to miss 8, and I missed 8.
I think my mom says that she was praying that I wouldn't pass, and I absolutely 100% believe that was true.
Like, you shouldn't have passed.
No, she just didn't want me to drive. I think she was freaked out of the idea of me on the road.
The guy at the DMV, like, totally shaded me. He's like, you realize that you got, like, the amount wrong that you could? And I'm like, do I still get my license? And he's like, well, yeah, but, like, be careful.
Oh, goodness.
Thanks for the advice,
Thank
man.
you, sir.
Be careful.
Runs red light 3 weeks later.
Look, I'll be honest. I have a twin brother, so we had to share the time that parents spent teaching us.
So it took
Driving.
twice as long.
Yeah, well, and I was also went to
Oh.
school all day long, like in Sydney, so it's like a long commute, so I didn't have a lot of time to practice. So by the time I went to go and do my test, I knew
Oh my
I was
God.
lacking in some confidence.
Oh.
So it was raining, didn't know how to turn on the windscreen wipers. So I feel like that was an automatic fail, but the lady was so sweet. But also there was a car accident at a roundabout, and I got nervous and sped up. And so she slammed the brakes on. And I was like, oh, I know that's an instant fail. But then we had so much time to sit there and chat. I wasn't sweet talking her, but I basically said, like, I'm pretty much a ballerina and don't do anything. I'm like a really good boy. So she gave me a score that was higher than my brother's. My brother went on to be a tank driver in the Australian military.
Oh my god.
Having said that, when I got my license, my mum wouldn't let me drive by myself.
Oh my god, she, like, didn't trust you.
No, I was still technically a loner, so she was like, no, you can't go anywhere by yourself
Why
until
did
I
you
feel
speed
like-"
up?
I got nervous.
I was
Oh my
going,
god, I'm
like,
nervous. Here I go.
I just thought I could just fly through it.
You, like,
No.
wanted to see, like, what was going on.
Yeah.
I hate that.
It was
on the
also,
freeway.
they make you go in their car. Not that the brake and accelerator is in a different place, but
Oh, really?
yeah, you can't do it in your own car.
We have to provide
Provide
the
a
car.
car and proof of insurance.
And insurance.
Yeah, see, they do it in their car because the passenger seat has a brake
brakes.
and a wheel, so they can take over if
Oh
you're
my
just losing it.
gosh. Wow, I didn't even realize that. Like,
I wonder how many people get into accidents on their actual driver's
I'm
test
sure
days.
it's a lot of people.
More than most times, I'd
Because
imagine.
you're nervous. I get nervous when, like, my boyfriend is in the car with me. Like, he's like, no, ah! And I'm like, I'm just having, like, PTSD.
Wait till you're married.
Heck no.
The worst part is when you tell Steve off for doing something and then you do it.
Yeah.
That's the worst part. Let's go on to a different question. We're in
We got
Tangent
on a
Street.
Tangerine.
Are you a very organized person?
No.
Not really.
Actually, I can be when I want to be.
Your makeup brushes say yes.
Yeah, I need to be, like, clean in that way. Like, nothing is, like, dirty.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like, I call it the chair at home, and it's like the chair that you put all of your
Everything.
dirty, yeah, you put all, it's
Oh.
and it's just isolated to the chair, and it's just like this tall thing.
Yeah.
Steve,
Oh
you've
my-
got that too.
Yeah, mine's just the dresser, the top of my
house.
dresser. The house. Mine's just the house.
The house.
Have you ever spoken in front of a large group of people? How did it go?
Yeah, fine.
Every day of my life.
Yeah, you guys
Yeah,
are both
good,
performers.
Yeah, at Disney.
Do you consider this like doing a voiceover? So you know that there's an audience out there watching. Hopefully, fingers crossed.
Please
Um,
watch.
But does this seem as intimidating as public speaking on a platform? Say if you had the same amount of people, but they were physically watching you.
You know what? I think that this is like less nerve-wracking because like you can't see anybody because there's times where like you have like I spoke at my graduation of high school and I literally was like my cap flew off like mid-speech and I literally was like, oh, okay, and I just like kept going and they got it on camera and everything and I was like, great. That was like scary too, and like also I was like thanking people, and in my speech I should have stuck to the script because in my speech I'm like, I just want to thank my siblings, and that was it. But I started to rattle off their names and then I forgot one. and then my sweet aunt was like, yeah, you didn't thank your younger sister, like you thanked your older siblings because you know like they helped like raise you, and I was like, yeah, that's why.
Definitely why.
I literally just like forgot.
So when you have to do your Oscar acceptance speech,
it's gonna be,
you know.
Yeah, just stick to the script.
You know what? I think it comes down to the fact that like we're sitting in a little corner of our house, so that's comfortable. We're also all wearing socks, and you don't have to physically look at anyone, but you could also you could redo it if it goes badly.
Well, it's also the thing that we've talked about in the past, like computer courage, right?
Oh, goodness.
So it's like I'm hiding behind a screen, so I don't.
Don't start me on computer courage.
Yeah.
Are we going to go there?
No, we can.
What happened? What happened with computer courage?
So I'm in like a bunch of like beauty groups and stuff, and so long story short, this girl posts a picture of her tattoo, and like she was like, hey girls, like I just got a tattoo today, like all happy, and then she's like, post pictures of your tattoos, and so everyone was like, you know, like loving on her on this thread, and then this girl comes in and is like, no offense, but like who did that tattoo, like who did you let do that to you, like how did you, and I was just like you know, and I'm just like, and no, I felt so bad that like, and then all these people started to jump in and be like, yeah, like that looks so bad, like, and I'm like, y'all realize that this is on her forever, like you need to be giving her support, and like that.
And
was
she was also happy.
And
to
she
post.
was so happy, and like in those kind of groups, I don't know if it works like that with your guys' groups, but they say like, no, like criticism, please, like I'm just posting this like because I feel good today, or you can say, oh, please give me constructive criticism. So if like they don't say that, then like. Don't get
Yeah, right?
It is not even constructive. Like, it's ink on her body forever.
Well, also, like, why? Like, why? Like, why do you even...
She deleted the post because she felt like... I'm sure she felt, like, so terrible. But, yeah, people get, like, vicious.
Well, you would. You don't know these people, but you come to know their character very quickly.
Yeah.
And it can be a really bad thing to have your first impression or even, like, your fifth impression of someone suddenly turns so sour and so personal. And, like, you're right. Like, I don't think it's just limited to beauty groups. Like, I've definitely been in my share of Facebook groups before where some things happen that you're kind of like, it's a little off. It's a little off-putting to keep going with that. But I think it's just, like... It just comes down to respect at the end of the day. If you're happy with other people treating you the way that you're going to treat them, then go on. Like, go ahead. But I find that the people that are so quick to dish it out are doing it behind the safety of that computer screen, just smashing away that keyboard, letting all their feelings out. But as soon as one person comes back and just not even gives them a taste, but just like a sight of the medicine that's coming their way, they're off. Like little rats like scurrying into the corner.
Well, it's a kind of, I think it works this way, like as the good book says, out of the abundance of the heart speaketh the mouth. And I think that there's a lot of power. I think there's a lot of power in that. And then there's the other adage that actions speak louder than words. Yeah. So I think that even though words, like the words that you might say or that you might type on a computer screen or whatever with computer courage is one thing. So that's obviously coming from a real place in that individual. But then if your actions show, you know, whether you're unfollowing or following or blocking or not blocking, like that is continuing to further proof the type of maybe individual that, you know.
You can say say all you want, this is a safe space, but if you don't make it safe,
I know.
Then no one's going to believe you.
You know, I'm currently reading another book right now called You Are a Badass. And it's
Bleep.
No, it's...
I'm going to get demonetized for that, Steve.
You're a bad...
Are you really?
No, I don't know.
No, just bleep it out. You're a bad bee.
I mean, it's the title of the book. It's by, I believe, a lady named Jen Sincero. I think that's what it is. So sorry.
We'll link it.
It's a great book. I was listening to it, actually. I'm listening to it instead of actual reading it. I was listening to it on my drive up to LA yesterday. And it talked, you know, there's so many great, just different rules to live by and ways to kind of inspire yourself and to kind of believe in the greatness that is you. And one thing that she kind of touched on, I'm probably totally going to butcher this and paraphrase this, so forgive me, but here's the idea, is that when you allow other people's opinions of you to kind of get in the way, it's like you're giving them a power that they don't need to have a power. Like, you have so much greater power over your own life and the choices that you make and who you are and the way you stand up for yourself than letting other people's opinions dictate how you exist. Because the reality is like, you're giving them this power that they don't know what to do with. They wouldn't know how to handle it, and they're not really worthy of that power.
Well, also, like, they're just trying to take it from behind their computer screen. Like, why are they so shook in the first place? What kind of insecurity breeds that type of behavior?
Maybe it's like they're not brave enough to, like, do it. Like, I have people tell me, like, oh my god, you're so brave for, like, putting your videos out there. I'm like, yeah. Like, and it makes me, like, because you know, like, you get, like, nervous. I'm like, oh my gosh, like, am I making a fool of myself? You know, like, I think that a lot. They're like, you're so brave, da-da-da. I'm like, oh.
Well, because it's vulnerable, and it's difficult to be vulnerable.
But people think that because you post on social media, you're inviting their unsolicited opinions and criticisms. And what's so funny to me is that so many people don't have legs to stand on.
Yeah.
Like, you cannot sit there and give me all the types of criticism in the world if you yourself aren't proving that you have that opinion validated.
So let's say I go out and I dye my hair fuchsia.
Okay.
Right? Okay, I bleach my hair and I white fuchsia.
And I question why.
Right. But so, like, and you ran into me on the street, what gives you the right to come up to me like, that hair is disgusting on you?
Oh, I wouldn't.
Right.
I might think in my head, that's not for me, and I don't think it's for him, but...
would you ever come to say it to me in my face?
No.
But then why would you feel the need and the freedom to do it via computer?
Because some people think that posting it on computer is like, it's asserting yourself.
No.
Some people think it's you feel good about yourself, so you're trying to show me that you feel that. And to be honest, I feel like most of this trolling and this upset and this hurt is so, it's just insecurity just laid bare on your screens, and it's everywhere. It comes from every different angle, and you're sitting there at the end of the day and you're trying, the worst thing is you're trying to feel for these people because you want to believe that there is a real person behind those posts that's actually hurt. And that doesn't feel good, that doesn't feel confident, that's really struggling with stuff, and the only way they're trying to take their power back is by attacking you. And
but that's not getting your power back. That's making you feel worse.
But that's people at their wits' end. They're grasping at straws at that point. I'm gonna say, like, you're pretty much like exhausting all your options if the last thing you have to do is troll people on the internet and just hate on people. You're at a bad place in your life.
Well, and here's the deal: like, life's too short, right?
Oh,
yeah, and look, I'm not gonna say, because it'd be so hypocritical if I was here like just preaching on a soapbox. We are all going to do things that we probably shouldn't do. We're all human. Yeah, we're all human. We're all going to suffer in some way, and we're all going to accidentally vent that the wrong way. We're all going to wish we hadn't done something at some point. But I find that the best thing to do is just accept it and, like, try your best, keep moving forward.
But it's also owning your actions, right? So if I know that I've done something to hurt you, even if whatever platform it is, if it's a public platform, if it's to your face, like, the best thing for me that I would do would be to take ownership in that and literally to apologize. And to say, I am sorry. Because that takes a verbal ownership, it takes a physical ownership, and lets the other person know and understand that you get what the role that you have played in all of this.
Best part for you is it also kind of releases you from that.
And you don't have to exist with that guilt.
I remember reading this thing, and it was saying, like, when you look at something and you make a judgment in your head, that is what society has conditioned you to think, and then your second response is, like, who you truly are.
Right.
And I was like, oh,
that's
dang.
interesting.
And I remember reading
powerful.
that, like, it was like, oh, like, that hair is, like, you know, ugly or whatever, and then, like, your second thought is, like, actually, you know what? No, they can cut their hair like that, like, they can be like that, and so that's, like, who you truly are.
Right.
Like, the first response is so, like, what we've been conditioned to, like, believe.
Yeah.
And I so believe that, because I'm like...
Yeah.
I think that all the time. I'm like, oh my god, no, I'm, like, conditioned to believe this. Like,
in my
I shouldn't.
family, I feel like that was tattoos. I've been conditioned to always look at tattoos and think, no, wrong, bad, horrendous. But my personal feelings are... That's not for me. Tattoos aren't for me, because I don't think I like anything enough to get a tattoo. Forever. But I can appreciate the beauty and the stories and the sentiments in other people's tattoos. But my first instinct, you're right, is a bit of a conditioned one, where I immediately, upon sight, I think, no.
And that brings up another point back to the book that I'm reading. And how she says, like, we come into this world completely, like, organic and... just
clean slate, right?
Complete clean slate. And it's all very, like, whatever your like natural. Do Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, like how you were. I was born this way.
Like I'm happy. Like I'm happy. And when I'm hungry, I just cry, and then I eat until I'm full, and then I keep going and I exist life. And it's not until we get older that all of a sudden we get all these these ideas and these prescriptions that society puts on us, or people, or family, or conditions, or whatever, that start to kind of develop who you become, like, and kind of create this blueprint that is almost not organic at all.
Yeah. And you know what, when you get older, you start to, you know, become more independent. You start to, like, and especially once you leave the nest, once you're out on your own, all of those things, all of those conditions and those things you become normal with suddenly start to scare you. And that suddenly everyone's feeding into the same fear culture where I'm just going to scare you in this certain way so that you don't cross me like that. Or I'm just going to assert myself over you like that and make sure you're in that place so you don't cross me at this place because I don't need you in my life like that.
Well, and that's the power of individuation too.
Yeah, but instead of people being just upfront about it and telling people, hey, this is who I am, this is how I operate. If you do get on board, then fine, let's be together. If you don't, please feel free to be over there. Right. Instead of doing that, we all kind of pretend like, no, it's fine, we'll make the best of it. And then behind your back, like, I'm off. Yeah. I'm off and running, and I'm letting everyone know how you don't suit my lifestyle. But I think it's one of those things that I've always kind of thought I should always just strive towards as a personal goal, was just to be the most honest, transparent, authentic to myself person I could be. So that at least people knew who I was. They could discern whether they wanted to spend time with me or not.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's so much strength, and that's strength in character, and that's the idea of belonging everywhere and nowhere. That's another book that I just finished reading, Braving the Wilderness by Brené Brown. Read it. Check it out.
I'm not linking any of this stuff, just so everyone knows.
I'll send you the links.
No, I'm telling you, like, these
contact Stella.
These books, like, have all changed my life, and it's that idea of, like, I belong everywhere and nowhere, but it's that idea of belonging so strongly to yourself and knowing who you are and what you bring to this world and what you bring to others and bring to yourself, and the power that you have in yourself, that you can provide it for everybody and also for and no one.
Yeah.
I think you just, it's that idea, that culture of belonging.
Same. And like Cinderella, kindness is free.
Yeah. Kindness is free. Goodness is free. Nothing is free. Everything in life you must pay.
Oh, you shall not go to the ball.
Catherine Blanket.
Catherine Blanket.
Catherine Blanket.
I love her.
She's great. Okay, so that was great. That was actually really deep.
That was a good...
We didn't think we were going to go there.
I feel like we should start a podcast. I'm not even kidding.
I feel like definitely if we could find some spare time in the week. But you yourself are not so easy to pin down, Stella.
She's such a busy makeup artist.
I'm so busy.
Let's lighten it back up with some of these questions again.
Okay, yeah.
If you had to change your name, what would your new name be?
I love my name because it's named after my grandma.
You have a beautiful
grandma
name.
Stella.
My grandma's name is Stella also.
Yeah.
How did I not know that?
I don't know, now you know. And I have an aunt named Stella.
What?
Stella.
I love my name, but I'd want it to be like more like...
Estelita.
Yeah, like more Hispanic sounding, because like I love Stella. Estela, but I love the name like Margarita, or like, you know,
I have an aunt named Margarita.
Something saucy.
Something spicy.
Yeah, something spicier, like Margarita. I love the name Frida.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I'm gonna name my daughter.
You say that so well. I wish everyone could see how I'm seeing Stella say that.
Frida. I love that name.
So I feel super white in this corner of the room.
You know what's so interesting is that as a kid, I always loved the name Michael and James.
Really?
Yeah, and then my best friend is Michael, and then the man I married is named James.
Am I not your best friend?
James and the Giant Peach.
But
Look,
I don't know if I wouldn't want that name.
Names have got to suit you, don't they?
Yeah.
It's weird because you don't really meet people and think, oh, that shouldn't be your name. Everyone's name kind of makes sense when you meet them,
like when you see a baby and you're like, you're a Bob.
I still don't know how my grand named my mum Judith. Like, that's a harsh name for a baby to pull off.
It is, yeah, Judith or Judy.
Like, how are you nurturing that and saying Judith?
Well, if you... Okay.
Me, I would be... Because I feel like my mum just got it wrong. But that's a nickname that she has for me now. So my middle name is Luke. I have two middle names.
I love the name Luke.
Garrett
I do
and Luke.
love that name.
So mum will call me that. So I feel like that's the other name I would take if I had to choose another one. But I really do think James suits me. My favourite male name is actually Philip.
I love that name.
It's so good.
And I don't want anybody to call him Phil.
No, never.
It needs to be Philip.
Well, like I love
Philippe.
Philip, but also like I mean I love the name Oliver.
Yeah.
Hence why we named the cat Oliver. But I also love the name Theodore.
That's
Theo?
cute too.
Theo.
And I would
Theodore.
nickname it Teddy.
Oh.
But I don't know what my name would be aside from that.
I think if I was a guy, like, I would want the name like Dylan. I don't know why I like Dylan.
Hunter.
No, I don't like.
Noah.
I don't know why I like the name. I like that name.
Dylan?
Dylan.
I find...
But like Dillon.
Like the pickle?
Oh, really?
Oh, never mind. I changed my mind.
I think I want my name to be like Sriracha or something.
Horchata.
Well, see, I don't go by my legal first name.
No. Oh, do you want to hear a fun story name? I married not Steve. Legally, Steve's birth name is actually Samuel Stephen Samuel.
Yeah, Samuel
Can't say it
Stephen.
with an accent.
No, just Samuel.
Samuel Stephen, but
My dad's name is Sam.
but he has
You're
like
not a Sam.
contradicting some elements of like different
Paperwork
that
they're switched.
switched, and we just provided the driver's license when we got our marriage papers, and Stella signed it and everything. So she literally signed off on this problem.
I married you.
I am the reason you love each other. She, but I married Stephen Samuel, and then come to find out that I was married to no one. Technically.
So we had to go back and get an addendum to it to get my actual legal first name.
Luckily,
God.
otherwise I would have been deported, because it literally would be here for no reason.
Like, you made up the suspect.
Well, that's so weird. What's interesting is like if I get a phone call and they're like, "Hello, Samuel," and I'm like, "Excuse me," because that's not
Like, you don't know me.
No, I've never been called Samuel.
Well, I've
or
seen
Sam
mail
ever.
that comes to the house before as Samuel. And
I always think it's
thought-
my dad.
Well, and then I found out that your dad's name was Samuel,
Yeah.
but beforehand I thought you were full on lying, had double life going on.
No, but I mean, like, I've never ever gone by Samuel. Nobody in my family has ever called me Samuel, Sam. It's always been Steven or Steve.
Like, just name me Steve then.
Right, and that's what I tell my parents. I'm like, why didn't you just do that? They're like, yeah, we know, we messed up. Great, thanks.
Thanks, Mom and
Gracias.
Dad.
Yeah.
Gracias.
What is your guilty pleasure?
Ice cream,
Yeah.
brownies, pizza.
Trash TV.
Oh, ditto.
Like the Kardashians.
Same times 1,000%.
Oh, it's so bad.
Stella and I are so into the Real Housewives of Melbourne. We can't quote it though because everything is awful.
Foul.
Wow.
What trends did you follow when you were younger? Oh, I followed the trend of trying not to follow trends.
Oh,
You know when you were like...
one of those.
You're one of those people?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I had the sewing machine out. I was always sewing little trinkets to my jeans and...
Doc Martens.
Oh, that wasn't a good look for you.
No, but here's the deal. This is the difference. I really wanted the generic Doc Martens that had the yellow threading around it, the big boots.
Oh yeah, the classic.
And I was so excited. Yeah, classic Docs. And I asked for Christmas, asked Santa for Christmas, and I, open Christmas morning, I open it, and I see it's a Doc Marten box. And I open it up, and it's just these brown shoes without the yellow threading. And I was so, I didn't know how to say it, but I looked at my mom, and I was like, are these Docs? And she goes, yeah. She goes, they're just different than the other ones. I thought they looked nicer. And I was like, no, but I wanted the other ones. But I was like, okay. I ended up wearing them, and I got so many compliments on them. And people were like, wait, are those Docs? I was like, yeah. They're like, they look so good. They're so different.
So that's
thanks.
really what you
She
wanted.
just elevated your shoe game.
You finessed.
Yeah.
Look, that's funny because what you really wanted were compliments, not Docs.
Both.
But how do you give that for Christmas?
I just wanted nice shoes, and I got nice shoes, I guess.
Let's remember the real reason for Christmas.
Jesus is the reason for the season.
Wait, what was the question?
It was a
Trend.
trend.
Oh, the trend, right?
Yeah.
Did you follow a trend? Belly
Oh
button
my
rings
gosh.
and
No,
jellies.
it was those gaucho pants. They're like partially capris, but they were made out of like very stretchy fabric, and then you would wear a glitter belt with it.
the
It was
visual I have
awful.
is stunning.
And then platforms. Like there were these chonky
Yeah.
platforms that we would wear. They were called volatile.
Yeah. Do you remember the chunky flip-flops?
yeah.
Oh my god, I had those.
Mom had those with
We
big
call
old
them something in
flowers
the
on them.
States.
Every girl in college wearing those big chunky flip-flops with their
Yes.
Starbacks.
That, and then like there's like little like decals like on the
Yeah.
on the sandal itself. Mine were like 5 inches tall, which made me 5 foot.
Anyway, I'm just going to ask one final question, I think. And Steve's pointing at one.
I like that one.
Where's the best place to take a date?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Japan. Low-key.
First date. Get in,
That'd
baby.
seal the deal, to be honest.
Oh.
The theater.
Oh, really?
I don't know
taking?
if I like that because then you can't talk. Like, you're just, like, sitting there, like,
but you did dinner before.
Awkwardly wanting to hold their hand.
No, see, I agree with Stella. I can't be in a place where we can't talk. So no movies, no theater.
I don't like when you see couples and they're sitting right next to each other while they're eating. I'm like, and they're, like, literally side by side while
That's
eating.
so weird.
Oh, you can't look at each other?
I see that all the time.
I want to do something fun and active, and then I want the rest of the relationship to be low-key. Like, I want you to think that I'm going to do all of that for the rest of our lives.
Hot air balloon.
A hot air balloon.
Like, let's go rock climbing, or we could go trampolining,
horseback
or ice
riding,
skating, or something.
Disneyland.
And then as soon as we're together, I am parked on that couch for a week straight. Like
a month straight.
2 years later.
All right, I'm going to ask you this last question because I think it'll be a really nice thing to wrap up with. And don't be modest. What are you best at?
Oh my god.
This is a hard one.
That is hard.
Without sounding like an absolute tool. Well, why don't we say it about each other? How about that? Stella, I think you are fantastic at transforming people with the power of makeup.
Oh, thank you.
I think you're just so genuine, authentic, and funny.
Thanks. I actually love when people say I'm funny.
That's a good compliment.
Yeah, because it's like, oh, I can make you laugh. Like, you know, like that laugh where you, like, throw your head back.
Yeah.
That's what I, like, aim for.
And laughter is the best medicine, so basically you're a doctor.
Oh, yes. One for Steve is that he's so good with his words. Like, whenever I'm, like, in a, like, argument or something, I'm like, Steve, like, I just, like, need your help. Like, you're so good with your words. Like, how do you say this eloquently? I feel like he's so good at that. Like, just, like, giving me, like, advice. Both of you, honestly, like, both of you. Like, sometimes, like, I'll come over here and we'll be here till, like, 4 a.m. And, like, I'm just getting, like, all of these nuggets of, like, knowledge. Like, all the time, constantly. Like, both of you together, I'm just like, oh my god, you're like my dads.
Stella, I'm, like, literally your age.
My zat.
And you're the first person to fall asleep here, so.
Always.
Literally, that's how you know you're good friends, is when you can come here and sleep.
Pass out on the couch next to the cats, next to Bianca.
Apparently all those nuggets of wisdom are exhausting.
Actual chicken nuggets.
The actual chicken.
Oh, Stella is also a great provider for me.
Of food.
Steve, I also think something that you're best at, or you're best at being my husband.
You have to say that.
He's gonna save that on his. It's gonna be like his ringtone tomorrow.
Remember?
Remember when you were like
when you loved me.
Yeah. Remember when you told all of your following that I was the best at being your husband?
He's gonna put it on captions and then screenshot the thing.
Anytime he starts to yell at me, I'm just gonna pull it out.
Secretly videotaping this, like, video footage.
You guys don't have to do me. We can just wrap that up there.
Oh, no.
Why? That's not fair.
Wait, no.
Because I don't think I want to hear it.
You have
Really?
to.
Because I asked the question, it sounds like I'm asking for it.
No, I don't think that at all.
Okay.
I think
as long as you guys don't think I'm fishing.
No, I feel like we all asked for it.
Reel it in.
Fishing for compliments.
What do I think you're best at? James, I think you're best at being yourself. And I say that like you don't apologize for your how eccentric you are, how fun you are, how fabulous you are. I think, and I told you this the other day. So the one thing that made me fall in love with you right away was you were like I didn't know another
I didn't know another I know
guy.
this story. No.
I didn't know another adult male to just randomly have a Cabbage Patch Kid and take on contract with him. Aww. And I was so impressed with the idea that he didn't care. And he was like, yeah, I just take my Cabbage Patch Kid with me wherever I go on contract.
I
really didn't care, and she was a constant. And she said, you know why? Because Cabbage Patch smell the same way.
Yeah.
And they remind me of being a kid. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
But that was one of the things that made me fall in love with him, is just his confidence. His confidence to be who he is without apology.
Yeah. I just love, like, James, like, no matter who you are, like, I feel like you'll feel so comfortable, like around you. Like anybody, like I can bring the most random person here and they'll leave being like, oh my god, I love James, like he made me feel so comfortable. Like my boyfriend Noah, like we talk about like Steve and James like like they're a unit all the time, but then like there's times where like Noah's like, wonder what like Steve and James are doing. Like James just like has that ability to like make you laugh, but then also like school you on things. Like that's how I know you always know your facts. Like I love.
He's got
like,
the receipts memorized.
Yeah, like you're so good at like arguing, like not like arguing,
Stella.
like not like bad arguing, but you know what I mean. Like you come in with the facts, and I'm like, oh dang, like yeah, like you are right. Like you have all the receipts, like always. Like you just know your stuff.
It's because
you're smart.
Because I don't want to have to face someone else like me.
You could be a lawyer
who had the facts and I didn't.
You could be a lawyer.
Mm-hmm.
I would never want
object.
to.
Legally
Why
blonde.
now?
You could be Elwoods.
May I approach?
Did you see what happened on Days of Our Lives? Why, yes, Margot, I did.
Was it whoever told Cameron? What is it? Whoever told Cameron Diaz that Angora is the new black or orange is
Is seriously disturbed.
Yeah, whatever it is.
I love it.
Oh well, that was great actually. Great way to cap up, summarize up. Thanks for watching Mermaid today, everyone. I'm going to be back again tomorrow with another mermaid piece. I hope this turned out fantastic. Guys, just explain what you're seeing on the screen right now.
A whole lot of nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
And it's wonderful.
Some type of mermaid.
It's a mermaid and she's
with like a
looking
fin
fab and like eyes and stuff.
And hair.
And just drawing.
Water.
Art journal.
King Triton.
Fish.
What did I call it? Journal book? Journal booking?
Journal books.
Journal booking. Today we were in Mido and she's like, journal book heaven. And she's like, what's it called? Artist book. And I'm like,
artist journal.
It's an art journal. And she goes, oh yeah.
I clearly watch all your videos.
Anyway, thank you for watching, everyone. I will be back again tomorrow. And for now, sound off in the comments below. I guess I should have said this before, but if there's any questions you want to answer, we'd love to read your responses. And go check out Stella's YouTube channel if you need some makeup tips and advice. She's got lots of transformation videos over there.
Link in bio.
Stella's doing all these links.
She's gonna be here tonight going.
Yeah. And yeah, until tomorrow. Bye.
Bye.